Hey, you guys, and hello, Sverige. Hi, Sweden. The final of Melodifestivalen 2022 is this evening, so we had to quickly put together our top three. We're going to go around the world and name our number three, our number two, and our number one. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Hola, this is Luis from Spain, and this is my top three for Melodifestivalen 2022. My number three is Cazzi Opeia with I Can't Get Enough. And I literally cannot get enough of that song. It's so catchy, it's so funny, it's so, I don't know, it just gives me so much energy. It's like, it makes me smile all the time. And yeah, I just like the staging, how it is like super colorful. And it's quite simple. They could have gone a bit further with the staging, but it's actually pretty effective. And yeah, it's just one of the songs I've been listening to the most for like the whole season, not just in Sweden, like the whole season of Eurovision 2022 is one of my favorites and one of the ones I've been listening to the most. And actually, this might sound mean, but I was quite happy or relieved that it didn't go direct to the final, because that meant I could listen to it for like 2 weeks earlier on Spotify. I don't know if that's mean or not.
Hello, Tom Hendrick here live from London. I hope you are all well and loving all the national finals. Here is my top three for Melodifestivalen 2022. My third place goes to Cornelia, Jakobs and the Hold Me Closer. The staging is excellent. The use of that circle backdrop is really original and effective, and I forget that Cornelia is performing on such a huge stage. It looks like a music video, but I don't think the song will light many fires if it does go to Turin, but it's still an excellent song.
So this is my top three of Melfest 2022. To be honest, I do think this edition has stepped up the game with the diversity of music, and there's a lot of tracks that I would really like to replay. It's just been a pretty good year and a very year, and it's gonna be really difficult to see the winner in the end, I feel. So my number three would be Dimman by Medina. I do really think this song is just really catchy, and it really does feel like it goes with the Swedish music scene really well. I do see this becoming a huge summer hit come June, July, and it could even last to the World Cup all the way in December. But it does remind a little bit of that Anis Don Demina or Samir and Victor kind of really fun summer party music. And I think eventually in Sweden they could go with this route eventually one of these years. So, but it is a really nice addition to the lineup, and it's super fun to listen to.
Hello, this is Ed, and here's my top three of Melodifestivalen 2022. My number three is Cazzi Opeia, I Just Can't Get Enough. This is just such a happy, carefree, fun song, and it's pure quality. She's a very, successful songwriter. She's written her own music, and this song offers something that no other song really offers at Eurovision this year. It's a fun, modern pop song. It's not trying to be anything too fancy, anything kind of show-stopping. It's just there to have fun. It's done really well, really slick. Cazzi is so likable. She brings so much joy. I love the staging, so fun, really nice colors. It's just having fun and having fun with class, and I'm a big fan of this one.
Hi, it's Antronig here, calling from Sydney, Australia. In fact, I'm just back here from the Gold Coast, where I spent a couple of days covering Eurovision Australia Decides. Very wet couple of days in the Gold Coast, and all that rain has followed me down here, much like a relentless stalker. I propose we go somewhere much warmer and much drier, so how about Sweden? Let's talk about Melfest 2022, and my number 3 is Sekelius with My Way.
I learned to live just like my mama said, my way. Go on and dance on my grave, then I go my way.
I was actually quite surprised to find out that she is the first transgender performer at Melfest, considering that Dana International performed at Eurovision almost a quarter of a century ago. However, this has a really anthemic feel to it, but is also just a really great pop song. I think that a lot of people can relate to this. I can relate to it. I think a lot of people can. And it's extremely catchy. It's such an earworm. I think Sweden would do great sending something like this to Eurovision and changing it up.
My number 3 is Klara Hammarström with Run to the Hills. It's funny, this song sounds like a remix. It honestly sounds like a DJ Sammy track. You know, they've remixed this and we're just like, oons, 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 oons. I think this has great potential. I love the studio cut. The staging is what lets me down, and that's what prevents this from being higher. It's like, our girls run into the hills, but I see no hill. I see no journey. I just see a beautiful outfit and a beautiful tree. Yeah. It's a shame because I think this could be a real contender. However, with the staging, I'm just like, great effort, but not quite enough.
So my number 2 is Klara Hammarström with Run to the Hills.
I'm running alone to the hills with a broken heart I go. I'm running to save my haunted soul.
And that's just a banger. It's so powerful. It's the song I listen to when I get up in the morning and I have to go to work. And it's like, I just want to run to the hills instead of going to my office. However, there are no hills where I live, so, well, that's not a possibility. But it's just so good. Again, the staging is not my favorite. I mean, they could have gone much further. And yeah, it's well produced, it's well created, but it leaves me a bit like, I mean, luckily I listen to it on the studio version and I don't see the staging every day because it does nothing for me. However, the studio cut is really good and Klara can deliver it live, so that's the most important part. They can work on the staging. However, it's Sweden, they don't really do that usually. But well, they can work on it and improve it.
My second place goes to Medina and dimman. I mean, different is the word. I mean, it's Swedish pop meets reggaeton, but I'm completely here for it. Medina are so much fun, and it's guaranteed to get the public on its feet. It's just different, and I think the public will love it, even though they'll have no idea what they're singing if it does get to in.
And my number 2 for Melfest 2022 would be Opeia with I Cannot Get Enough.
I can't get enough. I can't get enough. I can't get enough of you.
And the title is right. I cannot get enough of this song, and I'm really happy it went from second chance to the final. It does showcase a lot of what Sweden's music industry can do. It does have a lot of shades of Ava Max and K-pop. I do feel it could even be a dark horse to end really well in the competition. And I'm really gonna replay the song for a long time.
My number 2 is Klara Hammarström with Run to the Hills.
I'm running to save my haunted soul.
This song is an absolute banger. I love how it's a throwback to this kind of trance music, 2007. I love the concept of the staging. I wish they incorporated more of this video game idea into it, because I think it's fun, but at times the stage does look a bit empty. Klara is obviously absolutely stunning. The only potential issue I see with this going to Eurovision is that it's very similar to Lumix's song Thunder, and as you know, Lumix is going to Eurovision to represent Austria this year, so that might be a bit awkward if it makes it, but this is an anthem. I can't wait to hear it in a club because it's just going to bang, and this definitely could be a very worthy winner for Sweden this year.
My number 2 for Melfest is Cornelia Jakobs with Hold Me Closer.
Hold me closer, although you leave before the sunrise. I'll be bleeding, but don't you mind?
Even though this is my number 2, I think this is the song that will do the best for Sweden at Eurovision, because it does have that typical Swedish mainstream sound to it, but it also has a little bit of magic sprinkled on top. I think that Cornelia's performance at Melfest is very much memorable and unique, and I think, considering the fact that there really isn't a clear winner of Eurovision 2022 right now, at least at the time of recording this, Cornelia will be up there as a contender if they do send her to Eurovision.
My number 2, it goes to Medina. This song is just awesome. It's a party vibe, it's happy, it makes you want to move, it makes you want to smile. I love the kind of pace of the speaking, the rap, the boom, boom, boom. It's got rhythm, it's got flow. The performers convey joy. And this also sounds much more international. It draws on more influences. It's just a great feel-good track, and I could see this going down very well at Eurovision itself. It's got life and energy, and yeah, well done to them.
And my number 1 is Cornelia Jakobs with Hold Me Closer.
Hold me closer, although you leave before the sunrise. I'll be bleeding, but don't you mind?
That's just it's so mesmerizing. Her voice is so fantastic. The song, it's like so powerful. I really think Sweden has a winner alert with this one. This is really, it's the first song in Melodifestivalen in years that touches me, really. Like, I love Melodifestivalen because it's pop perfection, usually. However, that usually makes the songs like not, like, I don't really connect with them. Like, I like them because they are like super perfect, super well produced and whatever, but I don't really connect with them. And with this one, I really connect. The lyrics are so powerful. Cornelia does an amazing job on staging. She's like so good. You're like, for the 3 minutes, you're looking at her. And that's the most important thing in a Eurovision performance, if you ask me. So yeah, she has to win. And if she does, pay attention to Sweden, because we might be going to Stockholm next year, or to Gothenburg, or whatever. That was all. Bye.
But my first place goes to the wonderful Klara Hammarström and Run to the Hills.
I'm ready to save my heart and soul.
Klara's a star, and if she doesn't go to Eurovision this year, then she will eventually head to the contest. I think she's so powerful. She's a really powerful lady. I mean, Wonder Woman, eat your heart out. It's a pop banger. Klara looks spectacular. I love her costume. I will say her voice does tire a little bit near the end of the song, but if she gets her breathing right on the night, I think it really could head to Turin, and she would be absolutely fantastic. So that's my top 3. I'll see you all soon for more fun and games another time. Take care.
And the one that I feel should take a title for Sweden is none other than Hold Me Closer by Cornelia Jakobs.
Hold me closer, although you leave before the sunrise. I'll be bleeding, but don't you mind?
It is the smartest choice for Sweden to do, and she has come a long way from being a girl group member in 2011 and 2012 to really blossom as her own artist. It does showcase all the tropes from that Sweden usually does, but done in a way that's different and that really appeals to the masses. If Sweden sends this, it would really be the cultural reset that Melfest that Melfest and even Sweden Eurovision needs, and it would be what fans would be craving for. And it could even be considered as being the one that brings Sweden the 7th victory. Who knows?
And my nummer en, or is it nummer ett? My number one for Sweden is Cornelia. Cornelia Jakobs with Hold Me Closer.
Hold me closer, although you leave before the sunrise. I'll be bleeding, but don't you mind?
This song is just something else. I first heard it when I was, I think, very hungover and tired, and I just was blown away. I was fully in tears. The lyrics are so heartfelt, and you can feel that she wrote it herself from a personal experience. And I love how you think it's just a ballad, but then this beat comes in halfway through, and actually it's not. It's like it's almost one of these cry in the club whilst you're dancing songs. Her vocals are incredible. She's got this rawness in her voice, which is so powerful. And I love that it has simple staging. It doesn't need anything more than it has. She looks vulnerable. She looks beautiful. The only thing I would say is the green at the beginning, it looks a bit wrong to me. It almost looks like they've tried to do some green screen, but then forgot to turn it on. But this is just flawless. And if this makes it to Turin, it could certainly be a contender for the win. So yeah, for me, this was a 10 out of 10, blew me away. And I think it could win Eurovision.
Now, there is a very girl power theme going on with my Melfest top 3 this year. I also have to give a shout out to the likes of Anna Bergendahl, Cazzi, Opeia, Lisa Moskovsky, just to name a few who narrowly missed out on a spot in my top 3. But my number 1 has to go to Klara Hammarström with Run to the Hills.
I'm willing to save my heart and soul.
I just love how frenetic this song is. It reminds me a lot of Hannah Firm's Brave in that there's almost just too many words in the song. And that's the kind of song I love. I just love, singing it to myself and just belting out way too many words that you shouldn't be able to belt out in 3 minutes. I think that her performance at Melfest was iconic. I love the moment where she pushed her interpretive dancer away. It was very Eurovision. It was very memeable as well. I think that Klara Hammarström is such a fantastic performer. I love Nobody. I love Beat of Broken Hearts. I think she's just done amazing the last 3 years, and I think this is her crowning moment. It is my number 1, and I think that Klara Hammarström will absolutely slay if she is the one sent to Torino.
And my number 1, it goes to Miss Cornelia Jakobs. Hold Me Closer. Girl, you might be holding that Eurovision winner's trophy.
Hold me closer, although you leave before the sunrise. I'll be bleeding, but don't you mind?
This song is just beautiful. This is the perfect example of something that is at once polished, but also has a soul. I think with Sweden, my problem historically has been that the songs are too engineered, too perfect, too manufactured, that they almost feel plastic and sterile. Whereas this is well polished, well finished, it's smooth, and yet Cornelia gives it so much soul and heart, and it feels real. It's like she's talking to you. She's singing to the person in the song. It's emotional. The voice fits the song so well. It's almost got a folksy vibe, and yet it's still very much radio mainstream pop. The vulnerability is perfect. She can crack. She can have wobbles. Not that she does, but if she does, it will fit with the song and the tenderness. This could win the Eurovision Song Contest. Given the lineup we have this year especially, this would be a major contender if it wins in Melodifestivalen. I think this is just so universally powerful. I think jurors would not be ashamed. In fact, they would be proud to put their name next to this. And I think the public would eat it up because it really taps into sincere emotion. The staging, you don't need much staging. I think they've got the balance right between something visually interesting and then letting Cornelia just do her thing. Like, she could be there in a black box with just a spotlight and she would still slay. And I think the visuals they do have give it a bit of dynamism. This is just wonderful. I am so touched by this performance, and I really hope she wins tonight. All right, well, that's what we think. What do you think? Name your top 3 in the comments section below. And after the show, if you're watching this for the first time, do let us know what you think about the results. We'll see you later. Bye.